Welcome back, fashion fanatics. Today we're exploring how fashion has evolved over the decades, from the bold, rebellious looks of the 60s and 70s, to the excess of the 80s, the minimalism of the 90s, and the celebrity-driven Y2K styles of the 2000s. We'll also dive into the rise of streetwear in the 2010s and the futuristic world of virtual fashion shaping the 2020s. Fashion tells the story of our culture and identity. Let's dive in and uncover its evolution. The 1960s and 70s marked a seismic shift in the world of fashion. The structured elegance of old Hollywood glamour gave way to bold experimentation and self-expression. In this era, societal changes fueled new aesthetics, with youth culture leading the charge. Twiggy, with her iconic pixie haircut and doe-eyed charm, epitomized the swinging 60s. She became synonymous with the mini-skirt, a controversial yet liberating garment that symbolized the changing role of women. Alongside her, Jane Fonda brought a fresh, modern edge to femininity. And who could forget Cher? A true chameleon, she embodied the psychedelic spirit of the late 60s and 70s with her daring colors, sequins, and dramatic flair. These stars weren't just wearing clothes, they were defining a movement. It was a time when fashion wasn't afraid to make noise and challenge the status quo. Fast forward to the 80s, a decade where everything got bigger. The hair, the accessories, and of course the shoulder pads. This was the age of excess, and the stars of the time didn't hold back. Madonna and Cyndi Lauper led the charge with their fearless and provocative styles. Layered jewelry, fingerless gloves, and lace became their signatures, anthems of rebellion and individuality. Diana Ross, already a fashion icon from her Motown days, embraced the era's glitz and glamour with sparkling gowns and voluminous hair, exuding confidence and power. On the small screen, Joan Collins, through her role in Dynasty, turned power dressing into an art form. Her sharp-shouldered jackets and dramatic silhouettes became a symbol of ambition and dominance. This era celebrated the idea that more was indeed more, and every accessory, every outfit, was a declaration of personality and presence. By the 1990s, fashion took a sharp turn. The boldness of the 80s was replaced with understated elegance and a more relaxed, even grungy vibe. Icons like Kate Moss and Gwyneth Paltrow ushered in this era of minimalism, showing us that sometimes, less is more. Kate Moss, often seen in slip dresses and pared-down outfits, became the face of the heroin chic aesthetic, a stark contrast to the excess of the previous decade. Her style was effortless, proving that simplicity could still captivate. Meanwhile, Gwyneth Paltrow's red carpet looks defined 90s sophistication. Think of her iconic pastel pink Ralph Lauren gown at the Oscars. Timeless, chic, and unapologetically minimalistic. Grunge also played a huge role in the 90s. Stars like Winona Ryder embraced flannel shirts, ripped jeans, and combat boots, proving that fashion wasn't just about beauty, it was about attitude and individuality. As the clock struck midnight on January 1, 2000, fashion entered a new era filled with optimism, experimentation, and a touch of futuristic flair. The early 2000s, known for the Y2K aesthetic, brought metallic fabrics, low-rise jeans, and tiny crop tops to the forefront. Britney Spears was one of the decade's standout icons. From her unforgettable denim-on-denim look with Justin Timberlake to her daring stage outfits, Britney encapsulated the boldness of the time. Meanwhile, stars like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie popularized the it girl style, embracing velour tracksuits, oversized sunglasses, and statement handbags. This was also the decade when red carpets became runways. The rise of celebrity stylists like Rachel Zoe ensured that stars like Lindsay Lohan and Misha Barton became trendsetters. Fashion was now about accessibility, with high street brands like H&M and Zara bringing designer-inspired pieces to the masses. The 2010s marked a dramatic shift in how fashion was consumed and created. Social media platforms like Instagram and Pinterest became the new fashion capitals, democratizing trends and giving rise to influencers who shaped global style. Stars like Rihanna, Beyoncé, and Kim Kardashian dominated the scene, each with their unique approach. Rihanna's fearless experimentation, from high-fashion Met Gala moments to launching her inclusive Fenty brand, redefined what it meant to be a fashion icon. Beyoncé's tours became style spectacles, while Kim Kardashian popularized bodycon dresses, athleisure, and the monochromatic neutral palette. Streetwear became a defining feature of this decade, merging casual comfort with high fashion. Sneakers, once reserved for sports, were now luxury items thanks to collaborations like Kanye West's Yeezy line and the partnership between Virgil Abloh's Off-White and Nike. The 2010s also saw a return to diversity in silhouettes, with stars embracing everything from bold prints to minimalist tailoring. The influence of social movements brought sustainability and inclusivity to the forefront, with brands increasingly focusing on ethical practices and diverse representation in campaigns and runways. And now we arrive at the 2020s, a decade that has already been shaped by extraordinary challenges and transformations. The global pandemic disrupted traditional fashion cycles, with many embracing comfort and practicality as they stayed home. Loungewear, once overlooked, became a staple. Think cozy knit sets, oversized hoodies, and the rise of Zoom dressing, where people paired formal tops with sweatpants for virtual meetings. At the same time, high fashion adapted. Virtual runways and digital fashion shows became the norm, with brands finding creative ways to stay relevant. Social media platforms like TikTok gave rise to microtrends. Fast, viral styles like cottagecore, dark academia, and balletcore, often influenced by nostalgia for past decades. Today's fashion is more inclusive and dynamic than ever before. Icons like Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, and Billie Eilish push boundaries with gender-fluid fashion and bold, unconventional choices. Zendaya's collaborations with her stylist L'Oreal Roach have cemented her as a red carpet powerhouse, while Billie Eilish's baggy, oversized looks challenge traditional notions of femininity. Sustainability continues to be a driving force, with brands like Stella McCartney and smaller independent labels leading the charge. Secondhand shopping and upcycling have become mainstream, reflecting a growing consciousness about the environmental impact of fashion. Technology is also playing a huge role. The metaverse and digital fashion are gaining momentum, with virtual clothes and NFTs blurring the lines between the physical and digital realms. Who would have thought that in 2024, you could buy a dress that exists only in cyberspace? As we look back through the decades, one thing becomes clear. Fashion is more than just fabric. It's a reflection of our times, our values, and our aspirations. From the rebellious mini-skirts of the 60s to the innovative digital couture of today, every era tells a story. Fashion is a language that speaks volumes without saying a word. It's about who we are, who we want to be, and how we navigate the world around us. And as we move forward, one thing is certain. Fashion will continue to evolve, surprise, and inspire. If you enjoyed this journey through style history, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share this video with your trendsetting friends, and hit subscribe. See you in the next video.